Hey, happy Friday morning, Black Oak family. Ryan Ledden, president of Black Oak Asset Management, coming to you again with another edition of Breakfast with Black Oak. Again, I want to welcome all existing veteran clients and all new clients as well. Several advisors here, so you may work with someone else other than myself. You may work with Nick, you may work with Autumn, Parnick, or Damon. So again, same team, same family. Just want to welcome everybody, and again, thank you for your trust in us. This week, you see the top is actually an article that I read, tip fatigue. Basically, all of us are suffering from tip fatigue. Everywhere you go, it asks for a tip. And now they're starting to show that studies like tipping is getting worse and less because of that fatigue, because we go to a coffee shop and we just ask for a cup of coffee and they're asking for a tip. So I've got it. It's almost like you get a little bit angry when you get asked for a tip. Like, no, it's just your job. Now, if I used to be a server back in the day at PF Chang's. That was my off-season job while I played baseball. And playing professional baseball in the minor leagues where you make almost nothing. I had to have an off-season job, and so I worked at PF Chang's, and hey, made really good tips. And so I feel like if you are really serving and really going above and beyond your job, then tips are 100% warranted. If somebody does a good job, I tip really, really, really well. But some of these jobs, they're getting hourly wages that are way higher than they used to be just 3, 4 years ago, and they're asking for tips for everything that they do. And it's not that employee's fault. It's not. It's probably a thing across the board that the company is making them do. But still, you see that, and it says custom tip 10%, 15% just for making a smoothie or a cup of coffee or something. So studies are showing there is huge tip fatigue with all of us, and even my son's track team. They're doing a fundraiser right now. I think there's fundraiser fatigue as well. My gosh, you open up your social media, especially Facebook, and we're asking for money all the time. Not only are we paying an arm and a leg for travel sports and all that, and then we're asking for more money from other people. It's like, well, I'm paying my kids' dues on this, and then this other team's asking for it. So it's wearing us out. And the article that I read was relating to Domino's Pizza, how they're trying to tip people back. So essentially, for every, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think it's for every $3 you tip your driver, you get that $3 off on your next pizza. So they're basically trying to tip us, which again, Domino's Pizza has come a long, long, long way in the last 5 to 10 years. I mean, they were on the verge of bankruptcy, and now they're super successful because of just the marketing and ideas that they do have to compete in a very, very tough space when it comes to pizza delivery. But so I thought that was just a great idea, and it's working. Studies are showing that it is working, and it's paying their drivers. I mean, incentivizing us to tip the drivers, which means they get better people, and then also we're saving the next time that we buy a pizza and have it delivered. So it's a great idea, and so far it's working. So anyway, I say all that to say, tip yourself. All right, we live in a high inflation world. Again, getting tipped, we're tipping to death and fundraising to death, but you got to fundraise and tip yourself. I know that's not a new idea, but you got to be intentional with your own savings in your own retirement. So if you have an employer match, you got to take advantage of that match. You got to. It is a no brainer. You're doing yourself a disservice if you're not capturing the full match. And you can't say I can't afford to put in a certain percentage to get the full match. Wrong. You can. You have to. It's imperative. If you have to put in 5% to get four, which is kind of a pretty standard safe harbor 401k match, you got to do it. Or if it's you put in three, they put in three. Or if you put in six, they put in six. I mean, I've seen all sorts of matches across the board. Some of them really, really good, and some just okay. That's about average, but you got to do it. So pay yourself first. You have to. We don't have pensions anymore like we used to. We have to rely on our own savings. Obviously, Social Security is there. It's under a little bit of pressure and scrutiny. Again, most of you know this that I work with. I do think it's going to be there. There's going to be modifications. There has to be. But for just to say it's going to be gone, in my humble opinion, I disagree with that. I think it'll be there. It just, there's a variety of different ways they can do to change that. So my point being is rely on yourself and what you're going to do. Yes, there are government jobs that still have pensions. Great, good for you. If you have them, take advantage because most people do not have them anymore. But it's going to rely on us, okay, on yourself to save for retirement. So tipping every time you go somewhere when you really don't need to, it's okay to hit no or reject when it asks that question for tips. It's okay. Pay yourself first. If you haven't paid yourself first, definitely don't tip people at a coffee shop or a smoothie place or whatever. But tip those people who do deserve it if they do go above and beyond. But anyway, fascinating article, great stuff. But again, pay yourself first. Try to get to 10% of savings. 15 is ideal. If you can go above and beyond that, you'll be in good shape in retirement. So hope everyone has a great weekend. We'll chat again next week. Thanks.